the semifinals. And he's up against Cameron Hayes, the number 2 seed, Milford High School, 41-5. He's a freshman, and this is an interesting matchup, Paul. I think Hayes comes in with the experience, but this Cawman kid has 3 pins in the tournament, and he's got a nasty side headlock.
Both guys are big 106-pounders. Cawman is on a roll in this tournament. He is really on a roll. Hayes, though, is very impressive. He was very impressive at the state duels Tuesday. He bumped up and had a big one at 113, helping Milford get the Division II state title. So this should be a barn burner, Bernie.
I believe I don't think they've met this season. Cawman lost to Harrington at the Milford Invitational in the finals. And we're awarding the 220-pound titles. And Mark Malnack, he wins the state title at 220, so 3 bouts done. The Hen Open gets 2 of the first 3. Brandon Dooley from the Blue Hen Conference, he picks up 1 for the Blue Hens. And this is a year, Paul, that Upstate Wrestling thought they could maybe crack into some of those state titles that the Hen Open Conference has been dominating over the past 2 years.
Yeah, Hen Open's been a dominant conference over probably the past decade. But the Blue Hens made a resurgence this year and maybe gotten pretty much equal to the independent conference. Hen Open versus DMA is an independent now.
Right. There we go at 106 pounds in the blue singlet. That's Shane Cawman out of Delaware Military Academy. He's a junior, 35-6. He's the independent conference champion. And he's up against the Hen Open Conference runner-up. Hayes had the default last weekend to Mason Harrington. Mason Harrington just was getting the boots in and putting the power half to him and just stretched out his ribs and up 10-0. And he took his 3rd injury time out and it was over.
Yeah, Mason was up 6-7-0 when the injury occurred. And it's good to see Hayes bounce back here and be able to wrestle the state tournament.
So he's in the finals. He's the Hen Open Conference runner-up. This is number 5 versus number 2. So this is one of the weight classes where the number 1 seed didn't survive, as he was beaten in the semifinals by Shane Cawman of Delaware Military. Delaware Military's only state champ, Sam London, 2 years ago, won an overtime match, the last match of the night as I remember it, and a thriller over Keith Jones from Sussex Central. And now Cawman looking to be the 2nd DMA champion in school history. Milford's got a ton of them. And Hayes is in, double leg, no takedown yet. And he pops the head out, gets the arm through, gets the leg in, and there's the takedown. Cameron Hayes from Milford. And you're right, these both are big 106s. Hayes is tall. I wouldn't be surprised to see him at 120, 126 next year. He's a very tall kid. .55 seconds to go and they're out of bounds. Hayes 2-0.
Cawman gave up the first takedown in the semis, but able to come back with the pin with a strong second period effort. Hayes with a nice deep, tight waist ride here.
He's another one with a lot of leverage, and as we all know, leverage is so important in the sport of wrestling, and there's a lot of guys through Delaware this year with that we'll see throughout the night with long range legs and able to get that tight waist all the way across. Cawman comes out. Hayes able to drop back down, step over the leg, and maintain control with 28 seconds to go in the first period. He's up 2-0.
Yeah, Cawman was free for a second there, but Hayes did a nice job dropping down and doubling him right to his side.
Hayes reinforced bar, 18 seconds to go, looking for a tilt, jump sides. Has him in the pocket, elevating the wrong leg though, but he's getting the swipes. And holding 3 backs, and there they are on the board, 5-0, Cameron Hayes, as the first period winds down. Hayes will defer. Cawman is going to take top. Start of the second period. Hayes comes to his feet. Cawman drops down. He's rear standing position. Nice trip for the return to the mat. Hayes switch for the state reversal. 7-0 Cameron Hayes.
Nice job by Hayes there. Once he was returned, he went immediately into the switch and was able to score that reversal.
And we're out of bounds. Minute 34 to go in the second period. Cameron Hayes from Milford on top, 7-0. And we already talked about the Milford coaches in the corner, the Kelly brothers, Pat Kelly and Darren Kelly. Darren was a state champion at St. Elizabeth's High School, I think the only state champion from St. Elizabeth's High School.
St. E's known more for their basketball programs.
Right, he was a state champ there, and they don't even have a wrestling program anymore.
Hayes doing a nice job with the cross wrist ride. He's looking to reinforce bar here or hazard roll.
Yeah, it goes right to a half Nelson after the hand fight as Cawman gets away. And Hayes is right back on, right back to the bar tilt here. He's got it reinforced. Now he's looking half on the right side. And Hayes is just all over Cawman. Cawman, he's been the bigger, stronger wrestler in most of his matches in this tournament. Like we said, 3 pins to the finals. As a matter of fact, in the on last night, he barely wrestled over a minute and 3 seconds of wrestling, a pin in 30 seconds and 33 seconds last night. And there's your hazard roll. Gets one sway. Watch out, Coleman stepping over. But Cameron Hayes able to get back in control with 20 seconds to go in the second period.
Coleman with a lock on that outside leg. He really needs to circle and lift that, but it looks like Hayes is working a far side cradle there.
And we're going to get a stalemate with 12 seconds to go in the second period.
Important for Hayes here to close out this period. Ride him out for 12 seconds. We'll have a commanding 7-0 lead going into the third period.
With choice in the third period. Coleman comes to his feet. Hayes just pulls him back down, drags him to the mat. 5 seconds to go in the second period. Cameron Hayes out of Milford with a 7-0 lead, and that's how we're going to take it into the third period. Hayes will have choice, and he's going to take top. Coach Rigby gets up. Tells him top position, so Cawman returns to the circle. And we're set, ready to go third period. 106 pounds, folks. We're on the NFHS Network. I'm Benny Mitchell. With me, Paul Collier. And we're bringing you the state championship action here from Cape and Lopin High School in Lewis, Delaware.
Hayes doing a nice job with a spiral, but he still covers the hips, keeping his weight on Cawman.
Cawman is looking; he's trying to get those hips out and just make something happen with a step over. Hayes has just totally dominated the entire match on his feet, on top. And there he is, reinforced bar, comes to his feet, drags him back down to the mat, might get a tilt out of it.
You want to drag him back in bounds here. Make sure you keep the shoulders in bounds. Not like college where you can score out of bounds.
Right. Wouldn't mind seeing that rule come to high school, Paul. So many out-of-bounds calls in high school wrestling when you just get the, a couple feet out, and then we get what I call the almost out-of-bounds call where they're on the edge. And
yeah, I've been advocating for that rule for a couple of years now. I just think it would be easier on the refs to.
That's right. As long as something's in bounds, the wrestling continues. And there's a tilt by Hayes. Only one count, and they roll through. A minute to go in the match. Hayes up 7-0.
Hayes should just keep this bar, keep the wrist in the bar, ride him flat, kill about 50 seconds. He'll be a state champion here.
45 seconds to go here in the match. 7-0.
Trying to stack here off of this reinforced bar.
We're under 40. We're approaching 30 seconds in the match. Hayes has just put on a really good ride here.
He's got the cross wrist again here. He's dragging him in. No sense to take a chance here. 7-0, 20 seconds to go.
Just win the state title. Got the 7-0 lead. And we're going to go out of bounds with 10 seconds left in the match.
Cameron Hayes, 10 seconds from his first state title as a freshman. It would put him in position to maybe be a four-timer.
Maybe be the next four-timer.
Nice Granby roll attempt by Cawman. It's countered by Hayes. 3, 2, 1.
That's it. Cameron Hayes is your 106-pound state champion out of Milford High School. He's a freshman with a 7-0 decision over junior Shane Cawman over Delaware Military.
Real dominant effort there by Hayes. Happy for him after he was injured last week in the conference tournament.
Last week in the conference finals, yeah.
Great comeback. Now he's a state champion.